Welcome to tonight's Sports Arena here in the Stoddard Center for the CAC women's volleyball matchup between the Seahawks of St. Mary's College and your Southern Virginia University Knights. I'm Dawson Weidrich, and with me is Shay Maloof here again in the Stoddard Center on the Knights Sports Network. Thanks for joining us, Shay.
Thanks, Dawson, and congratulations on your wedding engagement.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And turn to the game, we have a great CAC matchup here today, the fourth conference game for both teams. But SVU coming to this game a little bit rusty. They've had the past couple games, they've been in sort of a funk lately when I've talked to some of the players. In fact, dropping their first home loss of the season here against Lynchburg, 3-1. And you kind of just want to talk about the energy of that game.
So they started out rusty in the first set, maybe like a lack of focus or lack of energy, but then they came back strong in the second set to tie it at 1. And then the third set, they started out with the lead and just couldn't finish out and pull out with it. And the fourth set, they kind of looked like they just lost energy.
Yeah.
So they're obviously looking to bounce back here and keep the energy and the momentum up in this match.
Right, very true. This week was only their second home loss in the past 2 seasons. So obviously you want to correct some things, make some changes, especially the energy like you talked about. There was times where they had really high energy, a lot of momentum, and all of a sudden it was just gone, which tends to be how volleyball works sometimes. But, you know, the greatest teams are able to control that momentum. Hopefully the SVU Knights can be able to take that back. And we just kind of want to talk about some key players for both teams, for SVU and for St. Mary's. You got some people for us?
All right, so for St. Mary's, they have senior outside hitter Megan Kelly from Ellicott City, Maryland, who has 242 kills, averaging 2.6 per set. So it's a lot on the season. But also another thing that she adds is senior leadership to the team that is very needed. And they also have sophomore setter Elise Sutliff from Warrenton, Virginia, and she has 202 kills on the season. So they will definitely be players to watch today for St. Mary's. On the SVU side, we have sophomore right side hitter Haley Lonis from Spring, Texas. She has 184 kills, averaging about 3 per set.
And she had 17 kills in the last game.
17 kills and also 6 or 7 service aces.
Right, that's correct.
So she was on top of everything in that match on Thursday night. And then we also have senior right side hitter Allison Teague from Eagle, Idaho, with 150 kills in the season.
Right, yeah, she's very clutch with all those great hits, all the right kills and all the right times, you know, especially in very close games like in Salisbury in their second home game. All this, again, just coming in clutch every single time. And talking about this being a conference game, I want to talk about the conference standings for both teams. SVU currently sits 3rd in the conference. They finished 2nd in the conference last year. And St. Mary's not doing as hot. They're 8th in the conference right now. They're 0-3 in conference play. And, of course, very hungry for that first conference win, whereas SVU really wants to defend the home court, defend that energy like we've been talking about, and to just get back to their winning ways like they started out the season being 5-0. Now they currently sit at 11-7, and again, just want to regain that energy. And that's some of our pregame for you. We'll be right back with you. Then we're going to have the national anthem and a prayer here in just a few moments. Again, you're with us on the Knights Sports Network. We'll be right back with you in just a few moments.
Knights Arena for tonight's women's volleyball matchup featuring the Seahawks of St. Mary's College of Maryland and our Southern Virginia University Knights. President Wilcox and the SVU staff thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, we ask you to respect the following SVU athletic rules. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team, not against the visitors. No profanity, vulgarity, racist, or sexist remarks. No personal remarks towards players, coaches, or officials. Stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Zero tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team and keep it positive for our visitors. Thank you for your cooperation, and go Knights! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer which will be offered by Ashley Moore.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're so thankful that we're able to be here and that the players may play to the best of their ability, that no harm may come upon them, that they may remember the things that they have been taught, and that they may play safely. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, if you will please rise and face the flag for the playing of our nation's national anthem. Thank you. And now for your starting lineups. Starting for the Seahawks of St. Mary's. A junior outside hitter, number 2, Emily Benedict. Sophomore, opposite, number 4, Elise Sutliff. A senior middle blocker, number 11, Hannah Kraus. A junior middle blocker, number 13, Audrey McKay. A senior setter, number 15, Maya Griffiths. A senior outside hitter, number 21, Megan Kelly. And at libero, a senior, number 10, Marissa Dangler. The Hornets are coached by head coach Kelly Martin and assisted by Patty Brady. Now starting for your Knights of Southern Virginia University. A junior setter, number 6, Laree Crockett. A freshman middle blocker, number 7, Ella Burrows. A senior opposite, number 12, Allison T.
And we're back here in the Stoddard Center for the CAC Women's Volleyball matchup. I'm Dawson Weidrich, and again with me is Shay Maloof. And we were talking earlier about the recent struggles that the SVU Knights have had as far as like kind of mental game is concerned. You know, they've kind of gotten into a little bit of a rut recently. And Shay, you being a student athlete, what do you feel like you have to do personally in order to get yourself out of a rut similar to what the Knights are in right now?
Well, so I just kind of go back to the basics and just work on getting back into my form and my groove, and what I did best before I got into the slump, and kind of refocus everything and just get back to what I was doing before.
Right. So definitely SVU wants to apply some of these things if they want to get themselves out of this rut. Again, I've just been talking about how in practice it's just been really hard to get things in sync. But again, hopefully they're able to fix some things today here in this home game against the Seahawks, who, again, haven't had as successful a season as they would like. They're sitting at 12-13, 0-3 in conference play. Taking 3-0. And again, they want to make a statement here in Knight Sports Arena where it is so hard for CAC opponents to win here. Again, SVU only losing 2 home games in the past 2 seasons. So we'll see if the Knights can recover from their last home game loss. And so on the court for the Knights is number 6, Loree Crockett, number 7, Ella Burrows, number 12, Allison Teagues, number 14, Haley Lonez, number 19, Lindsay Heyer, and number 20, Kaylee Rath. And McKinley Knight, the libero, comes in for Ella Burrows to start this off. And for the Seahawks, we have number 4, Elise Sutful. We have number 2, Emily Benedict. We have number 21, Megan Kelly. Then we have number 13, Audrey McKay. And then number 15, Mia Griffiths. And also the libero, number 10, Marissa Dangler. And we'll have Loree Crockett start off serving this game. A nice serve to the side by Loree. It over by Emily Benedict, but passed up to Lois, who's going to get it over. And that's going to be dropped right on the ground by number 4, Elise Sutliff. It just floated right over that block by Allison Teagues and Lindsay Heyer. None of them able to get to it. Now number 9, Julia Sletz will be serving. McKinley Knight passes it to Crockett, who tips it, or passes it to Lindsay Heyer, who tips the block over, and then Lindsay Heyer will get the points for the Knights. Makes it 1-1. Haley Lonez, who in the last game had 17 kills. And she's going to serve that one out of bounds.
She had a few of those on the last game on Thursday, but it was just a few, and the rest of them seemed like they were service aces. So
yeah, it was either she missed the serve or she got a service ace. So it's not very far in few between, you know. As that one's a service error by the Seahawks, making it 2-2. As higher with McKinley Knight serving. McKinley Knight, a junior from Roosevelt, Utah. Seahawks able to dig that one. And it's a miscommunication as number 5, Chanel Lucas, looks like she's going to go up to get it, but it looked like an awkward angle as she approached it. It is now 3-2 in favor of the Knights. Good dig by Haley Lonez, but it's going to be passed over the net. Tipped back over, Lonez digs it. Crockett to Rath. That's going to go off the hands of number 11, Hannah Kraus.
You know, Dawson, she looks like she's getting back from her injury pretty well.
Yeah, very true. She had leg injuries, so getting back into it and jumping all the time is definitely hard. Getting high enough for those kills, like we said, definitely getting back to her old ways with that. And that'll be a service ace from McKinley Knight.
The Seahawks are not doing a very good job of setting the ball up right now.
Yeah, the passing is kind of struggling so far early on. And the Knights, of course, benefiting from that. And that one's going to go right into the net. Number 5, Chanel Lucas, the freshman, trying to get the kill. And Chanel Lucas, she's from Rockville, Maryland. And now that makes it 6-2 in favor of still serving. But that one's going to be short. Then we got a substitution. Number 8, Katie Agates will be checking in for number 4, Elise Sutliff. Rath passes to Crockett, who sets for Teagues. And that kill's going to go out of bounds. Allison Teagues looking for the tip call there, but nothing doing for that one.
You know, she hits him so hard. It's hard to react for the other team. I'm surprised they didn't get a tip on it. Just trying to.
Rath passes it to Crockett a little bit too far, but Teague's able to get to it after that set. And that was Chanel Lucas getting to it. The Knights not doing a great job of supporting the blockers behind them. As we've seen other teams come in here and do. they just aren't haven't quite first step. And so the ball falls before they're able to get to it. And that's a service error. Make it 7-5 in favor of the Knights.
Allison Teagues back to serve for the Knights.
Teagues, the senior, serving. That's going to go off the hands of McKinley Knight, make it 6-7. As Sarah Smedley will come in here for Allison Teagues, as she usually does for the back row. Sarah Smedley, we were talking about before the game, how she's slowly becoming one of the better, the best passer on this Knights team.
She had some perfect passes in pregame, which is exactly what we were talking about before.
And slowly building up in the digs category as well. She's all over the place when it comes to digs. She's diving on the ground. She's sliding every which way to get to them, and she gets them up almost perfect every single time. There she is. Smedley passes to Crockett, who sets it for Rath. Now it's going to go out of bounds. We saw a couple like that last game with Kaylee Rath. Just a little bit too strong, and that's going to tie it up at 7.
She just needs to get the feel back and getting more on top of the ball from her injury from not hitting in a while.
Emily Benedict serving. That's another service error for the Seahawks. That's already 3 for them. As Julia Hopkins comes in for Kaylee Rath to serve. Julia Hopkins, the impressive freshman we've talked so much about on these broadcasts. McKinley Knight sets it to Crocker, who sets it for Burrows. Who's going to get her first kill of the night.
That was a perfect hit by Burrows right there, just getting on top of it and hitting it almost straight down.
Yeah, right in that gap between the blockers as Julia Hopkins serves again. That's going to go off the hands of Ella Burrows. And the ball came over to our little stance. That's why we had to pause there for a second. So now we have number 11, Hannah Kraus, serving for the Seahawks. Scores 8-9 in favor of the Knights. Crockett to Lonez. They almost let that go out of bounds, but they decide not to. Smedley getting to that one.
Exactly what we were talking about Smedley right there. That was an amazing dig.
And Julia Hopkins getting tripped up on the ankles of Haley Lonez. It is now tied up at 9. Smedley to Crockett to Burrows, and that one's going to really sail on her as the Seahawks take their first lead of the set. Yeah, like you said, the Knights just having a hard time getting on top of those kills and just letting them sail on them. That's another service error for the Seahawks. Make that 4 for them, tying it up at 10. As Lindsay Heyer and number 5, Kanani Lasike check in for the Knights. Lasike, a very, very good server. She goes in there primarily to serve. Some slight miscommunication by the Seahawks, but they're still able to get over. Crockett to Heyer. And she's going to get that kill past the block and take the lead back for the Knights.
That's Heyer's second kill already.
Yeah, Heyer doing very good so far as Lasike set to serve once more. Another good serve. And how the Seahawks got that back over is a mystery to me.
It's a mystery to me too, Dawson.
It looked like it hit libero number 10, Marissa Dangler, right in the face and just kind of popped up in the air. And now the Knights have a 12-10 lead, and the Seahawks will take a timeout. Maybe to let that Seahawks player get a little rest for face after getting hit that time.
Scott Sterling.
Yeah, Scott Sterling, there you go. And with them, we will take a timeout as well. We'll be right back on the Knight Sports Network. And we're back here on the Knights Sports Network. I'm Dawson Weidrich, and with me is Shea Maloof. The Knights have a 12-10 lead right now as head coach for the Seahawks, Kelly Martin, decided to take a timeout to get their group together. They had a lead there for just a short while, but then Lasike took over at serving, and ever since then the Knights have had some luck like that, taking a 3-point lead now. And that was number 8, Katie Agate, who also had kind of a high pass right there that almost kind of hit her chin. But that serve from Lasike is going to hit the net, and then Ella Burrows will come in for her.
Subbing in for the Knights, number 7.
So a couple of very good serves by Lasike,
And for the Seahawks,
as McKinley Knight will come back in. And then on number 15, Mia Griffiths will be serving. Mia Griffiths is a senior from La Plata, Maryland. Went to La Plata High School. Refs doing some communicating with the scores table, but now they're good. Hopkins passes to Crockett, who passes it to Lonez. Good cross-court hit. And some miscommunication by the Seahawks as one of them falls down. McKinley Knight able to get it. And the Knights get it back over after that diving play by McKinley Knight. And that's going to end up being a point for the Knights.
That was great ball set up by the Knights there.
Great block. All
Perfectly
because
set up.
All because of that great effort by McKinley Knight to chase down that ball. My goodness.
That was great hustle and great effort right there.
Absolutely. And a lot of times the Knights will have trouble finishing those plays, but have to be happy with the finish of that one. As Larry Crockett serves there. The Knights with a 3-point lead. Off the hands of Heyer. McKinley Knight passes it to Teagues. That's going to be digged. That's going to be hit right into the net by number 21, Megan Kelly, the senior from Ellicott, Maryland.
The set was too low for her to be able to get it up and over.
And she kind of had to sidearm and try to get underneath it, but nothing doing there as Larry Crockett will be serving once more. Beautiful low serve. A service ace, skims the top of the net. Those are nice things to see.
And as you can see for the Seahawks, it's hard to react to those balls that skim the net.
It really is. And now it's 16-11. The Knights starting to build a little bit of a substantial lead here now in the first set. Another nice serve by Crockett. Teagues gets her hand on that one. McKinley Knight passes it to Lonez. That's blocked very well by number 4, Elise Sutliff. Sutliff, the sophomore from Warrenton, Virginia, went to Kettle Run High School. And then we have some substitutions for the Seahawks. Number 9, Julia Slutz, and number 5, Chanel Lucas checking in. And now number 9, Julia Slutz, who just checked in, will be serving. Hopkins passes to Crockett, who right in that corner.
And that's what Lonis was doing so well on Thursday night with her 17 kills.
Exactly, those cross-court hits as Kaylee Rath checks in for Julia Hopkins. And now Lonez will be serving. Nice short serve to the far side.
Net violation on the Knights. Point Seahawks. Number 10, Melissa Dingler, back to serve for the Seahawks.
McKinley Knight's going to pass someone right over. Perfect opportunity.
Again, back to serve for the Seahawks. Number 10, Melissa Dingler.
It's great vision right there for number 5, Chanel Lucas, to see the open spot in the court.
That's a beautiful kill by Allison Teagues. By number 11, House, as Ella Burrows checks. 14 set as McKinley Knight set to serve. A good job by Ella Burrows to get her hands on it, but just let it go too far over the net, go straight down her front, and that's going to be a point for the Seahawks. Make it 15-18.
Going back to serve for the Seahawks.
And now number 8, Katie Agate serving. Lonez passes it to Crockett, who sets it for Teagues. And a good dig by Marissa Dangler, the libero. A great idea by, I believe it's Chanel Lucas, trying to go across there, but just hit a little too soft.
And it's also a little bit harder for her because she's not very tall.
Right.
To get it over.
Allison Teague's a nice serve. A nice idea by number 15, Mia Griffiths, setting it right into that middle open spot.
Some substitutions for the Knights.
Substitutions.
Nine, Sarah Smedley.
Sarah Smedley coming in for Allison Teagues.
For the Seahawks.
On the Knights side, number 21, Megan Kelly. And number
21, Megan Kelly.
Emily Benedict for the Seahawks checking in. Smedley. It's a very low pass, but Crockett able to get to it. And Lonis' hit gets blocked straight down by Hannah Kraus. And now Coach Debbie Baker wants a timeout as the Knights' lead has been shortened to 2. 19-17. Not very happy with that effort there, and we'll take a timeout along with them. And we'll be right back with you on the Knights Sports Network. Here after that timeout on the Knights Sports Network, I'm Dawson Wiedrick, with me Shane Maloof. As the Seahawks kind of having a little bit of a comeback here, now only within 2 points. Emily Benedict up to serve here. As 19-17 in favor of the Knights. Smedley passed it to Crockett. Got really low for that one. Rath, another hit out of bounds. Make it only a 1-point lead.
She just needs to get a little bit more on top of it and put a little bit more top spin to get it to drop in.
Works beautiful. Give them 20-18. That's exactly how you drop that play. They've been working on it now like crazy with their middle blockers.
That was perfectly and well executed right there by the Knights.
Perfect timing, great hit, great all around. As Julia Hopkins to serve. And that goes in between the block of Ella Burrows and Haley Lonez. That was number 11, Hannah Cross, the senior from Severna Park, Maryland, able to get that kill.
And that was also well hit by the Seahawks right there to get it in between the blocker's hands, like to see the perfect location where she knew that she could get the point.
And that pass from Julia Hopkins kind of came off wrong, and now it's tied with Kraus serving still. McKinley Knight to Crockett, to Lonez. Got between the blocks, but Lonez tips it up. Set by Crockett for Lonez. But Megan Kelly able to get behind that block there to help out the Seagulls. Hopkins, Knight, Lonez. Again, the Seahawks able to recover. And a good short hit by number 13, Audrey McKay.
That was a good dig by Hopkins, though, and Lonez was almost able to get to that one.
Yeah, and let's take the lead. Only this time in the set as Debbie Baker calls a timeout. And so we'll take a timeout along with them. We'll be right back. And we're back after that timeout as the Seahawks take the lead here late in the first set, 20, with the number 11 Kraus serving for the Seahawks. The Knights have led for the majority of the set, and that's a service ace for the Seahawks. Sarah Smedley misjudged that one, ended up being just short of her. And now the Knights find themselves down by 2 after leading the majority of the set. Burrows to Crockett, who tips it over. And that's another kill. That is for number, I believe that's Megan Allison.
Subbing in for the Knights, number 12, Allison Teagues.
Lonez. To the Knights, make it 21. Checking in, the very real.
Serving in for the Knights, number 5, Kanani Lasike.
Very good job last time she was up to serve.
If anyone's going to rally for four straight points, it would be Lasike.
Hire able to dig that one out of the net after Allison Teagues hit it there. And that's going to be out of bounds. And now they're within 1, 22 to 23.
Back to serve for the Knights, Kanani Lasike.
Now the Knights getting a little bit of momentum here. Nice low serve by Lasike. Teagues digs that one. Crockett to Lonez. That was going to be tipped. And number 21, Megan Kelly, not quite able to get it over, and is now tied again at 23. And that's going to be served out of bounds by Lasike. Almost taken by the Seahawks. And now it'll be set point for the Seahawks. And now Ella Burrows will be checking in for Lasike. And McKinley Knight will be in from Ella Burrows as the Seahawks will be serving. Number 15, Mia Griffiths. Teagues to Crockett to Lonez. The Seahawks able to get it over. McKinley Knight to Crockett, who sets for Lonez again. And that's blocked out of bounds by number 4, Elise Sutliff, now tied at 24.
Lonez is getting back into her groove from Thursday night.
Yeah, she really is. Start off this game a little bit slow here, but now has 3 kills. Nice low serve by Laree Crockett. But a great kill by number 21, Megan Kelly.
Subbing in for the Seahawks, number 9, Julia Slett. Number 5.
And now number 9, Julia Slett serving for the Seahawks. McKinley Knight to Crockett to Lonez. And a good kill by Haley Lonez makes it 25-25. And now Kaylee Rath will come in for Julia Hopkin. Now it's interesting, usually the Knights start off really slow in the first set. Usually the first set, usually someone either wins by like 6 or 7, but right now it's as tight as a set 5. Crockett, and that's going to make it 26-25 in favor of the Seahawks. As Kraus checks back in for St. Mary's. Now is number 10, Marissa Dangler serving. Teagues. Dangler able to get that dig. And Rath able to get it back over after it was digged out of the net by Teagues. And that's going to be tipped. Give the first set to the Seahawks, make them up 1-0 after a very exciting first set there. So what are some things you saw from that first set, Shay?
Well, I think the Knights need to keep up the energy going through because they kind of had it and then lost it and had it again. So they just need to keep it and maintain it throughout the set and just do a better job of communicating as we talked about in the past. And I think if they can do that, then these next few sets will go very differently.
Right. And I also believe the Knights really need to work on moving their feet a little bit. There's a lot of times like their service aces or times when they aren't able to get in a good enough pass because they don't move fast enough to where the ball is going to be. And with that, we'll take a quick break here between the first and second set as the Seahawks take the first set 1-0. And we'll be right back with you on the Knight Sports Network. And we're back here on the Knight Sports Network for some second set action between the Seahawks of St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia University Knights. The Knights dropped the first set 27-25 after some tough breaks, some just miscommunications, and a comeback really by the Seahawks where the Knights kind of got the lead by 6 points, then got really comfortable, and then the Seahawks just were able to swing heavily back and take that first set. And so the Knights, of course, looking to correct the course in this second set. Now libero number 10, Marissa Dangler, will be in for the Seahawks. And for the Knights, you'll see Julia Hopkin, McKinley Knight, Haley Lonez, Laree Crockett, Allison Teagues, and Lindsay Heyer. And number 15, Mia Griffiths for the Seahawks will be serving. Lonez to Crockett, who sets it for Heyer. It gets blocked, but Hopkin able to recover it. Crockett to Lonez. That's blocked out of bounds by number 13, Audrey McKay. That is Lonez's 6th kill of the day. She's had a lot of hitting opportunities, only a couple really getting through. Lonez to Crockett. To Teagues. It'll be digged by Dangler. And that's going to go out of bounds, give the Knights a 2-0 lead.
And Dawson Lonez is also one of the more consistent servers on the team, as in Thursday night's match.
Very true. Haley Lonez hit the serve here, the sophomore. Position changer, as we mentioned before. Nice low serve handled by Dangler. It's plays like that that have been bothering the Knights so far today, where they just have no back support. No one behind the blockers. They're just kind of expecting for the blocks to go straight down every single time. And you have to have someone there just in case.
But the Seahawks are doing a great job of taking advantage of that.
Exactly. Number 9, Julia Slutz serves right into the net. That was one thing that bothered them that first set that got them down that hole was service errors. And now McKinley Knight will be serving. The Knights are up 3-1 in the second set. The Seahawks able to get it over. Chanel Lucas able to manage it. And then now Julia Hopkin. We haven't seen her taking a whole lot of swings today yet. And they're going to call a double on Haley Lonez. And again, all caused by people not quite getting into position fast enough. And so the pass, of course, is going to be awkward. It's going to be hard to handle, causing a double. As Marissa Dangler for the Seahawks will be serving. Another low serve that is hard to handle for the Knights. Make it 3-3. Lonez sets it up for Crockett, who sets it up for Hopkin. Crockett gets back up. McKinley Knight to Hopkin. We're just going to bump it over. Hopkin to Crockett to Burrows. That's going to go out of bounds and give the Seahawks a 4-3 lead here in the second set. Dangler serving again. Lonez, Crockett to Teagues. And number 4, Elise Sutliff able to get back over as Teagues will get that kill. Tie it up at 4.
She hits it so hard, and it's really, I mean, at least for me, I wouldn't be able to react to it. So
yeah,
obviously they've been seeing it, and so they would be able to react to it better than I would.
But she really gets a good hit. It is a beautiful thing to watch. It's just so hard to get that perfect timing every single time. As Chanel Lucas's hit will go through the block of Lurie Crockett and Ella Burrows. As Sarah Smedley will check in for Allison Teagues.
The Seahawks have also done a great job splitting the blockers.
There we are.
That's the reason why they took the first set.
And now Katie Agate serving. Lonez. Crockett able to dig it out of the net, and Lonez able to pass it over. Burrows able to turn around, get it. And then Hopkin. Digged by Dangler. Hopkin to Crockett to Burrows. Burrows able to get it out of the net. And right back over. And they're going to call that out of bounds, make it a Knights or a Seahawks point.
That's why that low ceiling really comes into play.
Yeah,
in this arena.
Very true. The number 8, Katie Agate serving again. Lonez to Crockett to Hopkin. Dangler doing a great job as that's a net violation on the Seahawks. Make it 5-6. Now the freshman Julia Hopkins set the serve here. And again, we've talked about the youth of the Knights and how productive the freshmen have been. And you also have to take into account, like we talked about last game, how no matter how good they play, they're still freshmen. They're still freshmen that are learning and that will make mistakes like we've seen a couple times tonight by a couple of them. But a great play right there by Ella Burrows as we're talking about the freshmen, and tied up at 6. And a very long serve by Julia Hopkin, make it 7-6 in favor of the Seahawks. As number 2, Emily Benedict, and number 21, Megan Kelly will substitute. And then Emily Benedict will be serving. Smedley able to get it up.
It's a free ball there for the Seahawks. Not able to take advantage of it.
And now tie back up at 7. As Lasike will check in for Ella Burrows to serve. Again, Lasike so far doing a great job in the service category. And Lindsay Heyer, middle blocker, also checks in. as Kelly gets it back over. Crockett sets it to higher. And a good kill by Kraus of the Seahawks as Lasike will check back out in favor of Ella Burrows. And McKinley Knight will come in for Ella.
Serving for the Seahawks, number 11.
As Hannah Kraus will be serving. Hopkin to Crockett to Lonez. And they're going to count that in and say it is 8-8. And now tied up with Lurie Crockett serving. And Allison Teagues checking in for Sarah Smedley.
Allison Teagues.
Crockett. A little bit too far here.
Served by Knight for the Seahawks. Serving in for Seahawks, number 4.
And that gives the Knights their 6th service error of the day. With Mia Griffith serving. Crockett to Hire. Hire, who has one of the highest hitting percentages on the team. Crockett to Lonez. McKinley Knight diving for that one, but it's going to be too far. And the Seahawks will take the lead, or extend their lead 10-8.
It's great vision again by the Seahawks to see that opening in the Knights.
Not quite able to make the miraculous play like last set. A good dig by Emily Benedict. And blocked down by Haley Lonez. And now it's 9-10. Haley Lonez set to serve. That was number 4, Elise Sutliff. Lindsay Hire getting that hit, but recovered by the Seahawks. They're going to call a double, and the Seahawks tying it back up at 10.
And like you talked about, Dawson Hire is one of the more consistent hitters today for the Knights. Also with 2 blocks in this match.
Haley Lonez serving again. McKinley Knight will take care of that one. Crockett to Hopkin. Again, the tip right over the blockers, and the blockers not able to react to it fast enough. Make it 11-10.
Number 9, Julia Slett. Number 5, Chanel Lucas.
Now Julia Slets will be serving. After Allison Teagues wipes at the floor a little bit.
Back to serve for the Seahawks. Number 9, Julia Slett.
Slets is a freshman from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Went to Bethlehem Catholic School. That was Lindsay Hire on that hit. Crockett able to dig that one. Knight to Teagues. Yeah, that's going to count as a kill for Allison Teagues, as she did the same thing, just kind of tipped it over, let it float in that right spot.
And she found an opening in the Seahawks defense there.
And now it's tied at 11. McKinley Knight serving. McKinley Knight, Crockett, Teagues. Another good kill by Allison Teagues, I'm telling you.
She hits it so hard.
When she gets on top of it, it's scary, just like that one. Now the Knights take back the lead 12-11. McKinley Knight. Nice low serve. That was a very good play by number 15, Mia Griffiths, preventing the tip down. And that's going to go right into the net by number 4, Elise Sutliff. Because usually in those situations when someone free balls it up into the air and someone just is going to block it straight down, but of course Griffiths is able to prevent that by hitting it with her hand. McKinley Knight. Good.
It's a great reaction by Crockett there.
And that's going to be a beautiful tip inbounds. I believe that's number 13, Audrey McKay. As Hannah Krause will check in for her. And now Marissa Dangler will be serving. McKinley Knight to Crockett, who sets it to Teagues. Another kill for Allison Teagues. Teagues slowly working her way up the leaderboard and kills for today.
And her senior leadership is a big thing that's recognized on the court when she brings so much energy when she comes into the game.
That's off the hand of Julia Hopkins as number 5, Chanel Lucas, hit that one. And number 8, Katie Agate will be checking in for number 4, Elise Sutliff. And Sarah Smiley checks in for Allison Teagues. Lonez to Crockett. Get the pin play by Ella Burrows. And that's going to work out beautifully again. That's the second time she's able to be able to pull off that play. And now the Knights have a 2-point lead, 15-13. Good serve by Hopkins. Good dig by McKinley Knight. Crockett to Lonez. A good kill for Lonez. Giving him a 3-point lead.
And that's Lonez's 7th kill of the day.
Doing a very good job here today, working her way back up. She had a little bit of a streak where not many of her hits were able to hit the ground. Smedley to Crockett to Lonez. Another kill for Haley Lonez.
I think she's starting to find her groove, Dawson, and when she does, it's very scary for the other team.
Now Coach Kelly Martin for the Seahawks will be calling a timeout as she finds her team down by 4 points in the second set, and we'll take a timeout along with them. We'll be right back with you. And we're back here after that timeout by head coach Kelly Martin of the Seahawks. Back on the Knights Sports Network with Dawson Wiedrick and Shane Maloof. The Knights now have a 4-point lead in the second set after dropping the first one, 27-25. And now Julia Hopkins, the freshman, will be serving for the Knights. As the Knights go on a little bit of a spree of their own with a couple of kills by Haley Lonez and Allison Teagues.
It's a great tip by Lonez there to get it up to her teammates.
And that is a kill for Sarah Smedley.
And Lonez able to tip that. If she hadn't tipped it, I don't know if they would have been able to get it back over.
Now they have a 5-point lead, 18-13. Similar situation towards the end of the set in the first one. Last time the Seahawks able to make a comeback. Let's see if the Knights can hold that back. Some miscommunication between Julia Hopkins and McKinley Knight as the combination of their hits makes it go out of bounds. And then some substitutions for the Seahawks. Megan Kelly, and I believe it's Emily Benedict will be checking in. And Emily Benedict will be serving for the Seahawks. That's another service error for the Seahawks, making 19-14 in favor of the Knights.
Substitution for the Knights.
And now Lindsay Heyer and Lasike, Kanani Lasike will be checking in. Lasike, again, that very reliable server for them. Haley Lonez gets that kill as it goes to the hands of Emily Benedict very awkwardly. She tried to set it up, but it just stopped in its tracks.
And Lonez is very scary when she finds her groove, which she is starting to do here today.
Lasike, nice, good serve again. Lasike gets that dig. Crockett to Hopkin. Now it's going to go into the net, make it 15-20. As Marissa Dangler will come out in favor of number 13, Audrey McKay. As Hannah Kraus will be serving for the Seahawks. Some more miscommunication by the Knights, make it 20-16. Hannah Kraus serving again. McKinley Knight, Crockett to Heyer, who just barely hits it out of bounds, make it 20-17.
That was a great idea, though. She saw over here there was no coverage by the Seahawks, but she just carried it a little bit too far.
And now
Great
Ryan
idea by Heyer
Dubinsky,
there.
the junior, will be checking in for Lindsay Heyer. McKinley Knight to Crockett to Lonez. Now Smedley to Crockett to Dubinsky. And a kill for Dubinsky. Make it 21-17.
Right when she comes into the game, already making an impact.
That's junior leadership for you there. Despite the little amount of playing time she's gotten this season, she comes in and makes an impact. As Allison Teague checks in for Sarah Smedley, and Laurie Crockett will be serving. And Marissa Dangler not quite able to pull out of that one in time. She knew it was going out, but couldn't pull out fast enough. As is now 22-17. Laurie Crockett. And that serve's going to go out of bounds. Make it 22-18. As number 4, Elise Sutliff will be checking in for number 8, Katie Agate. And then now Mia Griffith serving. McKinley Knight will get to it after it hits off the ceiling.
The ceiling was actually helpful there.
It really did. Off the hands of Teagues. Crockett to Knight to Teagues. Another kill by the senior. Make it 23-18. And we're going to have another timeout by Kelly Martin of St. Mary's. And let's see. So, like last set, the Knights had a lead late in the set. And they got to about 20-some-odd points. And the Seahawks started to come back a little bit. I think the idea of that happening again for the Knights definitely pushed them past their, I guess, that funk that we're seeing. So, as for right now anyway. We're starting to see them playing with a lot more urgency, a lot smarter play, a lot better passes, and a lot better hits. And so we'll see how they manage after this timeout. We'll be right back with you in just a few moments. And welcome back after that timeout. The Knights find themselves up by 5, 23-18 after that kill by Allison Teagues. And the Knights trying to prevent a repeat of what happened in the first set after they were up by as many as 6. And the Seahawks were able to come back and take that first set from them. And Haley Lonez set the serve here. Good low serve managed by Marissa Dangler. And now there's a miscue by number 4, Elise Sutliff. As number 15, Mia Griffiths was able to make that astounding effort to get to the ball after the pass by Dangler. Haley Lonez serving. Julie Hopkin able to get that one. Crockett to Teagues, able to tip it over. Dangler manages it.
Good block. Great block by Hopkin right there.
Straight down, making that 25-18. And give the second set to the Knights. Able to get that sweet redemption after dropping that first one. And after that set, we will be right back with you for some
halftime stats for you. We'll be right back with you.
Welcome back for some halftime stats recap for you. We're just going to talk about some things that the Knights and the Seahawks are doing right now, and especially kills leaders for the Knights. And of course, those are Haley Lones and Allison Teagues.
Right, so Haley Lones has 8 and Allison Teagues with 6, and they're both starting to find their groove here, especially in the second set there. As you can see, Lones had a lot of opportunities and took advantage of them, as did Teagues with her extremely hard hits that we've been talking about.
Right, very true. And like on the first of the time period when the Seahawks started to come back, at the same amount of time, or same point in time, in the second set, Allison Teagues and Haley Lones kind of took over, like we were talking about, preventing that comeback from happening again. And I think a big help for the Knights so far has been the miscues by the Seahawks. I mean, so far, they have 6 service errors, and most of those have been in very key moments where the Knights are able to take momentum and take that lead back and just carry that throughout the rest of the set. And so, for you personally, Shay, if you're looking at this Knights team and you're Coach Baker, what are some things that you want to change and want to see happen in this next set?
Well, it looks like there's some positioning issues when the balls just drop between players and they dive and try to get them, and there's just no chance. I think there should be some positioning changes and maybe moving closer together so that we don't have any of those just drop-ins that no one can get to.
Right, absolutely. Maybe focusing on feet movement a little bit, making sure they're getting the place faster, reacting instead of seeing, which is something that in a lot of different sports is extremely key. You got cornerbacks in the NFL. You have to react instead of just watching. And then you have basketball players boxing out. You have to react and act fast in order to not be, caught sleeping. And so the Knights have to do that here in this third set, as both teams here, the Seahawks and the Knights, are tied 1-1. We'll be right back with you for some more exciting CAC volleyball action. And we're back here on the Night Sports Network at the start of this third set between the Seahawks of St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia University Knights. A change-up so far to start off the set. Ryan Dubinsky, middle blocker. The junior will be in place for Lindsey Heyer as Laree Crocker will be set to serve here. Ryan Dubinsky came in and immediately had a kill to help extend the Knights' lead in the second set. Let's see how she does in this third set. And a great kill by Haley Lones to start it off. It was that free ball in the air that was up for grabs, and she took advantage.
And she's already off to a great start in this set, exactly what we were talking about in the halftime report.
Laree Crockett. McKinley Knight passes it to Crockett, who sets it for Dubinsky. Who's going to get that kill? Give that her second of the day. Make it 2-0.
And Dubinsky, in that first point when she first came onto the court with her first kill, and then in her second right there.
Yeah, so in a very short span, she already has 2 kills. As Laree Crockett's serve goes right into the net. Make it 2-1. With 2 substitutions for the Seahawks. Number 9, Julia Slutz, and number 5, Chanel Lucas. And Julia Slutz will be serving for the Seahawks. McKinley Knight, Crockett to Lones. And the net violation by the Seahawks give the Knights the point. Makes it 3-1. And Marissa Dangler's pass kind of comes off very awkwardly. McKinley Knight to Crockett to Hopkin. Blocked, but McKinley Knight gets it. Crockett to Dubinsky. Blocked down by Teagues. The Seahawks get it back. Knight, Crockett, Hopkin. A good kill by the freshman. I believe that's her first of the day. And give the serve to Haley Lones. That's one thing we've seen a little bit less of in the past few games is sets for Julia Hopkin and kills by her. She's been not as involved in that front row area as she has been in the past. As that hit goes out of bounds off of number 4, Elise Sutliff.
But she still makes her presence known with her serves and her passes.
Exactly. And of course, with the re-addition of Kaylee Rath into the roster, you kind of have to readjust some things, readjust your lineup, who plays at what positions and when. Lona is able to get that to Crockett, who sets it to Hopkin. And that comes off of Chanel Lucas's hand very awkwardly. Almost like, straight off the side of her hand.
Looked like there might have been some spin on the ball that she wasn't expecting.
And now it makes it 6-1 in favor of the Knights. A nice low service ace for Haley Lones. She had a lot of those in their last home game. Now it's 7-1. This matches their largest lead that they've had of the night in any set. As number 8, Katie Agay for the Seahawks checks in. Another good serve by Lones. Lones to Crockett, to Teagues. Another good kill by Allison Teagues. Make it 8-1.
Teagues and Lones are just taking over.
Yeah, she really has. Just all those powerful hits. There, she might not have as many as Haley Lones, but the hits are just as impactful. That's going to go off the block of Ryan Dubinsky as it's going to make it 2-8. And Marissa Dangler, the libero, will be serving. Haley Lones passes it to Crockett. Sets it for Dubinsky. And that's going to go out of bounds, make it 3-8.
Marissa Dangler again to serve for the Seahawks.
And Marissa Dangler only standing at 5'2". Haley Lones with that hit. That's a good hit that's a miscue by number 8, Katie Agate, as that's going to hit right into the net. And Ella Burrows will check in for Ryan Dubinsky. This will be the first time we've seen her in the game for a hot minute. Now McKinley Knight serving. And that's going to go out of bounds. Make it 4-9. And now number 14, Madison Dozier, who is checking in for number 4, Elise Sutliff. Again, another low serve where the Knights, it's kind of hard to read that sometimes with spinning like it was. But again, just gotta expect those middle hits, especially when it's so open like it was. Haley Lonez, Crockett to Burrows. And a good dig by number 9, I believe that's Julia Slets. But it's going to go out of bounds on and make it 10-5.
That was a great setup by Larry Crockett because the ball looked like it was about to go over, but she kept it on our side, on the Knights side, so that we could put it down.
And now Allison Teagues will be serving. And Crockett sets it over. And that's going to fall to the ground, make it 11-5. Crockett put in a very awkward situation for the Seahawks to manage, and they weren't quite able to do it. And now number 5, Chanel Lucas will be checking in for number 8, Katie Agates. The Knights up by 6. And they're going to call that off the Seahawks, give the point to the Knights, make it 12-5. Players on the Seahawks sidelines, of course, not happy with that call. McKinley Knight making a great effort to get over to the side to get it off of Teagues' hit, but not able to as it's now 6-12. And now Sarah Smedley will check in for the senior Allison Teagues. Number 2, Emily Benedict will be serving for St. Mary's.
Back to serve for the Seahawks, number 2, Emily Benedict.
Knight to Crockett. The pin play for Burrows. Not going to work that time. That's going to be a great kill by Hannah Kraus.
Great vision again, just to see that the empty spot on the back row.
Very good job by Hannah Kraus, and now Benedict will be serving again. Haley Lonez. That's going to be a point for the Knights. It's going to be caused out of bounds. I believe what the rule is, if I'm not mistaken, is if the ball goes up in the air and hits the ceiling and it's expected to go over the net, they call it out of bounds. Now it's 13-7. Nice low serve by Hopkins. That's going to be a service ace for the Knights yet again. Make it 14-7. Now Elise Sutliff will be checking in for Madison Dozier. Julia Hopkins serving. And a good effort to block it down by Haley Lonez. That ball's going to go out of bounds. Make it 15-7 in favor of the Knights. Got Hannah Kraus tying her shoe here on the court. And now Julia Hopkins can serve. Hannah Kraus, digged by McKinley Knight, tipped over by Crockett. Beautiful placement.
That's very beautiful. Her vision to see that play come into
form. Come into form.
Yeah, come into form.
Yeah, there's
Thank
the
you,
word.
Dawson.
You're good.
Couldn't find the word. Yeah, to see it come into form and see that empty spot over there on the side was a great play by Crockett.
Absolutely, and with a timeout taken by the Seahawks, we'll take a timeout as well, and we'll be right back with you. The score is 16-7 here in this third set. We'll be right back. And we're back after that timeout on the Knights Sports Network. Dawson Weidrich and Shane Maloof with you here. The Knights find themselves up 16-7 in this third set. Tied 1-1 with the Seahawks of St. Mary's. Now Julia Hopkins set to serve here. And that's going to be killed straight down by Haley Lonez and giving them a 10-point lead, their largest lead of the night by far. And then now number 14, Madison Dozier, will check in for number 4, Elise Sutliff.
Lonez is impossible to stop once she finds her groove.
And blocked straight down by Ella Burrows. Make it 18-7. The Knights have taken control of this third set. And you talked about the consistency of the serving of Julia Hopkins. She's displaying it right here. And that block's going to go off the hand of Laree Crockett. Make it 18-8. And now number 13, Audrey McKay checks in as Hannah Kraus serves for the Seahawks. Madison Dozier had to tire her shoot for a moment. Smedley to Crockett to Lonez. And a good dig by Emily Benedict. Knight to Crockett to Burrows. Trying another pin play, but that one goes too far. Make it 18-9. Hopkins to Crockett to Lonez. Benedict able to manage that one too. That one's going to be in the corner. Julia Hopkins thought it was going out of bounds, but Coach Baker saw it all the way. And now the Knights are only up by 8.
It's hard to see it if it's going right in that corner. It's perfectly placed.
McKinley Knight. Laree Crockett tries to dig it out of the net after number 13, Audrey McKay, tried to block it down. As the Seahawks going on a little bit of a run here. Smedley. Crockett tips it over, but then Hopkins with a diving dig. McKinley Knight. And hit into the net by Audrey McKay. Make it 19-11. As Kanani Lasike and Ryan Dubinsky will be checking in for the Knights. The Knights going to rely on Lasike's very reliable serving right now. And that's the first time that has happened for her tonight when she has hit it that far out of bounds.
Definitely does not happen often at all.
Definitely does not.
Back to serve for the Seahawks.
Coach Baker trying to make sure that her substitutions got in and that they were seen coming in. Smedley to Crockett. Lonez and Dubinsky trying to save that one, but not able to, as it's now 13-19. A little bit ago, the Knights were up 18-7. Now they're up 19-13. Smedley, as that goes right into the net, make it 14-19. As Coach Baker will call a timeout and regroup her team. Now only up by 5 after being up by as much as 10 and 11. And we'll be right back with you after this timeout. And we're back after that timeout by Coach Baker as the Knights, for a bit, we're up 18-8. And now we're only up 19-14 as the Seahawks have really fought back here in order to bring this within range. And number 15, Mia Griffith, serving for the Seahawks. Hopkins able to dig that away from the net. Lonez hits that twice in a row. And that's going to be tipped out of bounds off the hands, I believe it was of Ryan Dubinsky. Make it 15-19. And the Seahawks continue their climb back. Hopkins, Crockett, Lonez. And they're going to call that out, make it 16-19.
You know, Dawson, the Knights need to get back to what they were doing at the beginning of the set.
Hopkins, Crockett, Dubinsky. And that'll be a kill for Dubinsky, her third of the game. As Allison Teagues will be checking in for Sarah Smedley. They finally break that 20 barrier here in this third set. Marie Crockett serving. Nice good short serve handled by Marissa Dengler. And that's going to go off the hands of Ryan Dubinsky and Haley Lonez. And is now 20-17. As we have Julia Slutz and Chanel Lucas substituting in for the Seahawks. Now Slutz will be serving. McKinley Knight passes it to Crockett, who sets it for Lonez. That's blocked. Knight, Crockett, Teagues, blocked down by number 4, Elise Sutliff.
No one was even close to being able to cover that one. It's great vision by the Seahawks on that point.
It really was. There's nobody in this area whatsoever. It is now 18-20. Hopkins to Crockett to Teagues. Blocked. Hopkins to Crockett to Lonez. Now that's going to go out of bounds. And now the Seahawks find themselves within 1 in a game or in a set that they were down by 10. Hopkins, Crockett, Dubinsky going for the pin. Now Knight, Crockett, Dubinsky blocked up. Knight, Crockett, Teagues. Marissa Dengler passes that. Crockett able to get to it. Hopkins, then Lonez. This is quite the rally we got on here. McKinley Knight gets to that one. Crockett. Lonez hits it into the net, and now we're tied at 20.
Well, that was a good rally, Dawson, and some great playing by both teams on that point.
And the Knights will finish it off, and now it's tied at 20, and Coach Baker will take another timeout just to reassess how to stop the momentum of the Seahawks, and we'll take a break along with them. We'll be right back with you. And we're back after that timeout by Coach Baker as the Seahawks have climbed all the way back from being down by as many as 9 points to now be tied at 20 here in this third set of the CAC conference matchup. Knight to Crockett, who sets it for Teagues. Tries to cross-court hit. McKinley Knight to Crockett to Teagues again. And Dengler managing that, but Number 5, Chanel Lucas, not able to get to it as the Knights finally stop the bleeding and take the lead back 21-20.
Haley Wilkins back to serve for the Knights.
And they're going to give that point to the Knights after they called 4 hits on the Seahawks. That was the 4th hit was on number 5, Chanel Lucas. Now the Knights have a 22-20 lead. Some conversation between, I believe, number 15, Mia Griffiths, and the net judge. Now Haley Lones can serve. Marissa Dangler. They're going to call a net violation, I believe, on Ryan Dubinsky.
Net violation on the Knights.
Dubinsky not happy about that call.
Number 10, Marissa Dangler.
Looking over at the ref and saying, I didn't touch it. Dangler. Now it's Knight. And now Crockett to Teagues. A great, powerful kill by Teagues. That's like the 4th one we've seen from her where it goes so fast and she just hits it so hard. Very impressive and a much needed time.
And a
done by the
perfect
senior.
set to Teagues on that one as well.
Exactly. McKinley Knight now up 23-21. Crockett to Knight to Hopkin. That's going to go off the hands of number 4, Elise Sutliff. And it'll be a set point for the Knights, 24-21. If the Knights are able to pull this off here in this 3rd set, that would show a lot of maturity after losing a lead as much as 10 to be able to stop that and just take it back over. As McKinley Knight passed that back over the net, and that's going to win the 3rd set for the Knights. And again, like we were saying, to come back from that, to have that much go wrong in such a short amount of time, and to still overcome that in that 3rd set, again, it just shows a lot of maturity.
It shows a lot of maturity and a lot of like their ability to focus after giving up, like 5 to 6 straight points to the Seahawks, and then being able to pull through it and get those crucial points towards the end of that set. That was like you said, great maturity by the Knights team, the young Knights team.
Very true. And with a very young team having a very mature moment there, especially with the leadership of senior Allison Teagues, able to take control and a couple of those kills in just the right time. McKinley Knight able to finish it off with a pass right over the heads of the Seahawks. And with that, we'll be right back with you with some 4th set action between the Seahawks of St. Mary's and the Knights of Southern Virginia University. We'll be right back with you on the Knights Sports Network. And we're back here in the fourth set of this CAC Conference women's volleyball matchup between the Seahawks of St. Mary's and UR Southern Virginia University Knights. The Knights able to escape that third set after they had gone up by as much as 10, and then all of a sudden we're tied at 20, and were able to pull it out in order to extend their lead to 2, or make it 2 sets to 1. And now in this fourth set, you kind of want to see the Knights just kind of take control and not have those moments where they let St. Mary's come back, which the Seahawks might do that still because they're just able to do that. They fight really hard to come back into games like they did in that third set.
And once they get on a streak, it's hard to stop.
Right, exactly. And so the Knights need to do exactly what they did in the third set. Whenever the Seahawks do get on a streak, just calmly collect themselves and then just figure out how to move on from there and do what they know how to do, like you mentioned. So that was Mia Griffith serving. Crockett passes it to Teagues. Dangler digs that one. Off the hands of Teagues. Crockett. Knight. Back to Teagues. Great cross-court kill.
It's perfectly placed over there on the opposite side.
Very well done by the senior. As Haley Lonez will be set to serve. And that's hit way out of bounds by Elise Sutliff, making it 2-0.
Haley Lonis back to serve for the Knights.
Haley Lonez serving again. That's going to go off the hands of Ryan Dubinsky, who's been seeing a lot of playing time since the end of the second set.
Substitutions into the Seahawks, number 9. Julia
And now some
Slett,
substitutions
number 5.
coming in. Number 5, Chanel Lucas, and number 9, Julia Sletz for the Seahawks. Hopkin, Crockett able to get to it. And Teagues, another cross-court corner kill.
And we talked a lot about vision, and Teagues, her vision is just perfect tonight. She's placed the ball perfectly where Seahawks aren't.
Very true, and that was a good first ball kill by the senior, one thing that Coach Baker loves to see. A great serve by McKinley Knight. McKinley Knight able to get up to Crockett, who sets it to Burrows. That's going to go off the hands of Chanel Lucas and give Burrows another kill. And right off the bat, Coach Kelly Martin wants to take a timeout and to help her team collect their thoughts, and we'll take a timeout along with them. We'll be right back. The Knights are ahead 4-1 in this fourth set. And after that timeout, we're back here with the Knights leading this fourth set 4-1 in the CAC conference matchup between the third-ranked team, SVU, and the 8th-ranked Seahawks of St. Mary's. It's a very low serve by McKinley Knight. Trying to throw a little monkey wrench into things because she usually does those floater serves, but that one was straight and right over the net. McKinley Knight to Crockett, to Teagues. Teagues has 11 kills so far in the night. That was a good tip by number 4, Elise Sutliff, right on that far side on that line, making it very hard to get to.
Number 10, Marissa Dangler.
Marissa Dangler serving for the Seahawks. Lonez to Crockett. Crockett sets for Hopkin. That's blocked straight down by number 4, Elise Sutliff. It is now 4-3, still in favor of the Knights, but the Seahawks showing some momentum shift to their side. Lonez to Crockett. And that hit by Allison Teagues is going to be too far out of bounds. It'll tie it up at 4. So this Seahawks team does not go down without a fight.
You're exactly right, Dawson.
No matter the deficit they have, they always find a way to come back as Ella Burrows gets that quick kill right there. What they call a one hit on this team. And she's done quite a bit of those tonight. She's had the pin plays that have worked out for her. She's just doing a very good job overall. 6th kill on the night. Allison Teagues. Teagues able to get to it. Crockett sets for Burrows. Tries to get the pin play again. And number 5, Chanel Lucas able to block it back down. It ties it up at 5 as Sarah Smedley will come in for Allison Teagues.
Number 9, Sarah Smedley. And for the Seahawks, number 8, Katie Agate.
And that'll be number 8, Katie Agate, checking in to serve for the Seahawks. Short serve, Balona is able to get to it. Crockett to Hopkin. Dangler is able to dig it. Good block by Ella Burrows. Kinley and I pass to Crockett, who sets it for Burrows. Trying to get the pin. And it works this time. Going past the block of Chanel Lucas.
Julia Hopkin back to serve.
And now Julia Hopkin will be serving for the Knights. Some hesitancy, but Sarah Smedley wisely lets it go out of bounds and gives them the 2-point lead, 7-5. As it was number 5, Chanel Lucas for the Seahawks, who was very hesitant to hit that one. Hannah Kraus tries for pin play herself. Lonez the good hit. But number 8, Katie Agate, mishandling that hit. That's going to make it 8-5. Just trying for that cross-court hit like many of these people are trying to do, but just came off wrong.
Well, it's also harder from how far back she was
Very true.
to locate it.
Off the hands of Lonez. Knight to Lonez. Smedley gets it up. Knight to Lonez. And number 15, Leah Griffiths tries to tip it over, surprisingly. Or at least trying to catch the Knights off guard. And now the Knights are up 9-5. Julia Hopkin, the reliable serving yet again. Hopkin, Crockett, the pin play. Doesn't quite work, blocked back, but the Knights will manage it. Lonez, digged by Julia Slutz. Again, the drop over by number 5, Chanel Lucas. That's one thing that worked really well for them in the first 2 sets. They didn't do it a whole lot in the last set, which is very surprising because it worked very well for them. Now it's Emily Benedict serving. Hopkin, Crockett to Lonez. Lonez going to hit that back down off of the arm of Katie Agate, number 8.
And it caught her off guard because she just had her arms out and Lonez hit it right into her arms.
Yeah, very true. And now Kanani Lasike will check in. Again, doing a very good job so far in all the sets that she has come in and serving. And that's going to go out of bounds, giving the Knights their 11th point of this set. And now Kelly Martin for the Seahawks will call a timeout as their team finds themselves down by 5. Not unfamiliar territory in this game so far. And we'll see if her team is able to bounce back and if the Knights are able to keep that bounce back at bay. And we'll be right back with you on the Knight Sports Network.
keeping me awake.
It's the house telling you to close your eyes.
Some days I can't even trust myself.
It's killing me to see this way.
'Cause though the truth may not be this, shit will carry out all these things to show.
And we're back with you after that timeout by head coach Kelly Martin of the Seahawks. And they're down by 5 here in this fourth set. And the Seahawks have yet to win a conference game so far this year. And at the end of the first set, you could see the energy build up in them as they were just excited just to be in a conference game where they had a lot of momentum and looked like they could win. And now the Knights have bounced back with 2 straight sets despite the fight by the Seahawks. As that is a service ace by Lasike. And again, Lasike just so consistent with serving. Only hitting it out of bounds once in the few times, and now hitting into the net this time. I didn't knock on wood. That's what happens. I did knock on wood, but she's very consistent. Does a very good job with that one, getting a couple of good serves in a row.
Well, now we're even because I kind of jinxed it last game, too.
Yeah, we just need to stop talking about how consistent she is. We just need to stop and just let her do her thing. And McKinley Knight tries to save that one. It was very iffy as if it was going to go out of bounds or not. So she decided to not play it safe. Or she decided to play it safe and go after it. Now it's 12-8. Hannah Kraus serving. Smedley to Crockett. To Lonez. Off the hands of Audrey McKay. Smedley able to get it up, but it's off to the side where no one can get to it. It is now 9-12.
Yeah, the Seahawks are trying to come back here. Let's see if the Knights can hold them off.
Doing the same thing they've been doing all game long. Getting in a deficit and coming back. McKinley Knight, Crockett. Lonez hitting it way out of bounds, not quite getting on top of it.
The comeback continues for now.
And now Allison Teagues comes in for Sarah Smedley.
Marie Crockett, back to serve.
Marie Crockett, the junior, serving for the Knights. Nice low serve by Crockett. McKinley Knight, Crockett, Teagues. There's a low set, so she couldn't quite hit it very well. And Marie Crockett gets it over. And that's going to go out of bounds off of number 13, Audrey McKay. Give a point to the Knights, make it 14-9. As Marie Crockett will be serving again. Great idea by Megan Kelly. As Teagues tips it over, and Marissa, I believe that was Dangler, able to tip it up. And then the Seahawks able to get that kill. And now number 4, Elise Sutliff will be checking in for the Seahawks as they find themselves down 10-14 with number 15, Mia Griffiths, serving. Hopkin to Crockett. Teagues, and that one's blocked out of bounds by number 13, Audrey McKay. Make it 15-10. Another consistent server today, Haley Lonez.
That's a tough one to react to. That does not happen very often.
That does not happen very often at all, as that was number 21, Megan Kelly, who hits it, and it hits the net and rolls, like right on that top. Again, that's a very unlikely thing to happen, so of course nobody on the Knights side was on that side of the net. McKinley Knight gets that up, Crockett, the Teagues. Even Marissa Dangler even seemed to say, wow, that was way fast, as Allison Teagues able to get that kill. And Ella
Teagues
Burrows
is-
checks in for
Teagues
Ryan
is so
Dubinsky.
clutch today, too. Just perfect times for those kills.
And McKinley Knight. I think she's hit the weight room a little bit too much. That one went way far out of bounds. That one escaped from her a little bit. Marissa Dangler. Haley Lonez gets that. Passes it to Crockett, who sets it for Teagues. And that's blocked, but back up in the air for Teagues, who tips it over. Off the hands of Burrows. McKinley Knight passes to Crockett, who sets it for Hopkin. It looks like one of the Knights stepped underneath the net. And that'll give a point to the Seahawks, making it 13-16. Crockett sets it for Burrows. And that's blocked straight down by Elise Sutliff as they're now down 14-16. Following the exact same formula they've been following all game. Comeback. It's the momentum comes from comeback ability. Ella Burrows, a beautiful tip over the net. Make it 17-14. Allison Teagues will be serving here. And Marissa Dangler not able to manage that as Elise Sutliff was chasing after that one. Make it 18-14. Teagues serving one more time. And they're going to call it out of bounds after it hit the backboard of the basketball hoop. Marissa Dangler making a good effort to get after it, but now it's 19-14 in favor of the Knights. And Allison Teagues had to reverse direction very quickly. And, of course, with a slippery floor as I can sometimes get, she falls on the ground, and that one goes out of bounds.
Number 9, Sarah Smedley.
And now Sarah Smedley checks in for Allison Teagues. And number 8, Katie Agate checks in for Elise Sutliff. And Agate will be serving for the Seahawks. Hopkin up to Crockett, who sets it back to Hopkin. That's going to go in between the twos, but the Seahawks able to manage. Smedley. Crockett tips it back over. And that was off of number 8, Katie Agate, trying to save that one. She's had a couple of great tips like that where she just put it right in the right place and put someone in an uncomfortable position, causing them to make a mistake.
She has great vision for when to execute those.
Lonez to Crockett. The pin play to Burrows, but blocked straight down by Chanel Lucas.
Substitutions for the Seahawks. Number 2, Emily Benedict.
And now number 21, Megan Kelly, and number 2, Emily Benedict will check in,
Back to serve for the Seahawks.
with Benedict serving for the Seahawks. Smedley. And ends up going to Lonez, who gets the kill right on that back line. Make it 21-16.
That's Lonez's 15th kill today.
Having a repeat of what she did just a couple of days ago. And now Kanani Lasike and Ryan Dubinsky check in again. Lasike hoping to put this game away with her consistent serving. Put up by Lasike. And Lonez hits it over. And they're going to call double on number 8, Katie Agate. Make it 22-16.
Double contact on the Seahawks.
Now, if you're Coach Baker, you want to put this game away right now. You don't want to repeat of the past few sets where all of a sudden you find yourself being 22-20 or 22-21. You want to put it away right now while the Seahawks are at 16 points.
Right, because if you give the Seahawks one small opportunity to come back, they will take it.
You give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Absolutely. Like they did right there.
And now it's 22-17, and Ella Burrows looks like she'll be checking back in for Lasike.
Back to serve for the Seahawks.
And now Hannah Kraus will be serving for St. Mary's. It always seems like to me, whenever Hannah Kraus comes in and serves, it's usually when that rally takes place for the Seahawks. Dubinsky.
Not this time, though.
Not this time as Dubinsky gets that beautiful kill. Make it 23-17. As Allison Teagues checks back in for for Sarah Smedley. Laree Crockett serving. Now the Knights have both their leading people in stats on the court right now in Lonez and Teagues. As that's a service ace for Laree Crockett, set point and game point for the Knights.
This is a crucial match point here for the Knights, as you do not want the Seahawks to start another streak.
Hopkins, Crockett, Lonez. Dangler gets that one. Hopkins, Crockett, Teagues. The senior hitting it too far, making it 18-24. She really wanted to put that one in the bag. As number 15, Mia Griffiths will be serving for the Seahawks. Hopkins tonight to Teagues. She does it that time.
That'll do it.
As the Knights take this game, this conference game, 3-1 over the Seahawks, who fought very hard in every single set and always made things interesting.
And a huge props to the Seahawks here. You know, they found their backs against the wall in many points, and were able to make it a closer game than many people would have thought. Yeah. So props to the Seahawks, but also a very well-played match by the Knights today.
Yeah, and that puts the Knights at 3-1 in the conference play, and the Seahawks now fall to 0-4 in conference. And so we'll see how that affects the standings here in the coming weeks as the Knights get back to their winning ways here in the Knights Sports Arena. And we'll be right back with you for a post-game interview with setter Laree Crockett. We'll be right back with you.
Finishing that last set.
Finishing off strong.
And fourth one. All right, welcome back here on Knight Sports Network. We're here with setter Laree Crockett. That was an amazing match by you. And so we have a few questions. So what's the difference between preparing for a conference matchup versus a non-conference matchup?
Well, ideally, there's no difference. We want to practice hard the whole time and come out with lots of energy every time that we do. But we definitely put more emphasis on the conference games just because those are the ones that we really need. But yeah, we just like to play hard in practice and give it all we got.
All right, and being 5-1 at home now, what's the energy level difference between playing at home with your home crowd and playing on the road?
Oh, it's all the difference. It's so much better playing with our crowd. We love the support from our crowd, and we do so much better with it. It's kind of weird going to other schools. They don't have a crowd, but we definitely we feed and live off of our crowd, and we love the sport.
Thank you. And also, so that last set, after being up 2-1 and then kind of a close fourth set, how did you guys come back to finish off that last set strong?
We've been putting a lot of emphasis onto the mental part of this game, and I think that it's finally paying off. We were able to come back and just finish strong. I think all of our hard work and practice is paying off, and it was able to translate in today's game.
All right, thank you, Lurie. And again, great match, and we'll be right back with you for some more post-game stats.
Hi, I'm sorry that's so sweaty now.
No, you're good. Great job. Thank you so much. Wait, are we done? Yeah, so we're doing like send-offs, right? Hold on. All right. And again, a great thank you to Lurie Crockett. She did a great job along with the rest of the Knights team today. Again, like we talked about, bouncing back after being ahead by so many points, and then the Seahawks just battling back every single time. It's got to be exhausting on you mentally, like, you know, they were talking about. And, you know, again, just a great way to get another conference win and another home win for the Knights.
Yeah, and, you know, like we said, their first home loss of the season on Thursday, you know, that was a great way to bounce back for the Knights there and getting a very crucial CAC conference win today. And a great way, like you said, to bounce back from those comebacks that the Seahawks were trying to make.
Yeah, we're excited to see how the rest of the season goes for the Knights as they continue to win in conference play. Hopefully keep building up for that conference tournament here coming in just a couple of weeks. And this is Dawson Weidrich and Shane Maloof. We thank you so much for joining us on the Knights Sports Network, the first fully student-run broadcast crew at SVU. And remember, go Knights.